Hello and good morning. So I'm just going to show you how I made this beautiful bridal bouquets. I managed to make 9 of them at a very low cost. So I'm just going to show you what I just used to make this beautiful piece. All of them so lovely, embellished with some gold strip. I'm going to show you which materials I used to make these beautiful pieces. So this is all you need. These flowers, I bought these ones, they're called gypsophilia bundle, and I bought them in Dunham and they're costing £4 for this bundle of 6. And this eucalyptus spray, they call it a eucalyptus spray, and it's for £2.25. I bought it in Dunham as well. And I got these rose petals with stems. Rose petals with stems, of which I will need 8 in total for bouquet. So that's what I'll need. I'll need my white ribbon. This is a very cheap one. Bought it for 99p on eBay. And this tape, it's a paper tape, but it's strong enough. It's sticky on one side, and that's what I'll use to wrap around my bouquet. So what I do first, you need a pair of scissors, of course. I just had to cut. And I've got 6. And then eucalyptus stem. And I just had to break. You see where there is like a wedge here? That's where I just bent, because it's all wires inside. I just bent it and continue to twist. Continue to twist. If you've got any other easier way of doing it, perfect, but then I don't have pliers at the moment, so I was just twisting and twisting. Twisting and twisting until it broke. Okay, so that's one, and I'll throw away this one. Then I have these like separate ones, so what I had to do, I just had to pull them apart to make them single. So now I've got, you can see I've got individual now bits of my eucalyptus and individual bits of the other ones. That's when then I take my rose petals . And that's 8 petals I want here, so I'll put the rest aside. Okay, so here I just come back to my flowers and I just make sure I prepare them nicely by bending the wires at the end so that they're just looped. I go to the next, I bend it, make sure it's looped. Alright, all of them. I'm just straightening them. Make sure they're nice and looped. The reason why we are doing this is that they won't catch on the dresses, because remember, some dresses will be nice and made of silk, so any little mistake from these flowers, any this wire with a sharp edge can just scratch the garment and pull the threads and won't look nice. So we have to make sure that we bend all these wires so that they are not catching on anything. And you see by the end of it that all these wires as well will be wrapped into our ribbon. So I take these now individuals, I just put them together like this, and I take my eucalyptus flowers or leaves and I just put them some on the outside. As you can see, I'm just holding here and I'm just trying to see that they are spread evenly, not on one place, but they just spread evenly. I put some in the middle and I put some, so it's like I'm placing them in a circular shape to make sure that I don't miss a spot. Okay, so you don't have to waste a fortune buying bouquets. You can do this DIY project by yourself in the own comfort of your home, and you see that you spend less to a bouquet that's equally cost an amount. Right, then I take my roses stand. I'm still holding here, and I take my rose petals and I start putting them as well in a circular form. Just make sure they're evenly spread. So I've got 4 now here, and I'll put the 5th one. These roses, I just bought a bag of, it had 50, and I bought it for £9.99 on Amazon, of which I think I just topped up with a few more regarding the number of bouquets I wanted to make. And then I take the remaining 3. As you can see, all the other petals, they are right round now, and then I take the remaining 3, and you can see my rose bars, they're facing sideways, they're not facing up, they're facing sideways. That's why these ones looks nice and even, because they are facing outwards, if I can say. So these ones, I'll poke them in the center, and as I poke it in the center, I'll just have to bend it over, because the wires are very, very soft. I just bend it over so it looks upwards, and as it looks upwards now, it gives that beautiful finish where you can see all the rose petals are showing perfectly well. I put another one again. I twisted the bud and I put the final one, and I twisted the bud as well. So in the end, I ended up with 3 of them in the center and 5 right round. So after you've done that, before you put any taping or anything to hold them in place, just make sure now you rearrange them and make sure those ones that needs to go down goes down, and those ones you need to pull a little bit, you pull up a little bit, but don't try to spread them out yet. Just make sure they're even and none of them is sticking out too wayward. Right, now when you have this, that's when now I took my green pepper tape. It's used for flowers, to tie flowers. Then if you see on many YouTube videos, you see they use this one to take flowers. So from there where the leaves ends going down, that's where now I start to wrap round. You have to be very careful because sometimes if you pull it too tight, it will just break. So you can see how I'm doing it. So keep on going, make sure you cover all the stems and you cover all the plasticky beads and all the wire beads. Like I've said before, we don't want anything catching. So this is the first. And if you see any wires catching out or poking out, just use your finger to poke them back in, or use whatever you use with a hard surface to push it back in. So as you can see, I keep on tapping it right round. If you do it right, there is no need for a second layer. If you do it right and everything is in place and you've put everything in place, there is no need for a second layer. I'm almost done with the wrapping. So you see now at the very end of it here, I keep on going and I make sure everything is wrapped up. Here I just put a little bit more taping because as you can see, it was becoming a little bit tapered as I came to the end of it. So I put a little bit more taping to make it even. Then I just pop. So now this is what we have. This is what we have. And at this stage, we're not going to pull out to spread any flowers. We're just going to leave them as they are. We're just going to leave them as they are. That's when now we take our ribbon. This is a white silk ribbon, as you can see. It's just silky on both ends. And now what I do, I'll take my hot glue gun and I just go here at the very top where your green tape begins, and I just put some glue there and I put my ribbon right there. I just put my ribbon right there. I don't know if you can see. Just press it for a few moments, and the good thing with this hot glue gun, it dries so quickly. Don't cut your ribbon yet, just leave it on there because you don't know how much you need. Because if you cut it sooner, you might realize that maybe your ribbon is coming up to the middle and yet you want something that comes up to the end, so it won't look nice. So when you do that, just as the way you've done with your green taping, start wrapping round. Start wrapping round. I see the best is to hold with your left hand and the ribbon is holding with the right hand, and you're just rotating your left hand, and it will go like in a diagonal shape. It goes like into a diagonal shape when you do like that. And if you want to make sure that your ribbon is strengthened and you won't have any any mistakes of it getting undone, just put a little hot glue as you go and wrap. With this now, you had to pull a little bit tighter. You need to pull a little bit tighter because this is your last coating. And as you go again, put a little dot of your hot glue gun there. You don't want it to show, so make sure you put it where it's properly covered when you wrap around your ribbon. And again, I come here, put a little drop. And by doing this, I'm rest assured that my ribbon will stay in place. There won't be any accidents of it unraveling and showing the green tape under. So as you can see, I just keep on doing that. Okay, I keep going. I keep going. I'm almost there. And you have to be careful as well when you get to the end here. You just have to do it a double twist, a double wrap to make sure your ribbon is well secured. Put some glue again just as you finish. Wrap your ribbon, hold it tight before you cut. This will prevent any fraying that might happen to the ribbon. But the other way to get a nice cut is just to cut your ribbon diagonally. If you cut your ribbon diagonally, there is no risk of it spraying, but I mean just putting your scissors like this and just cutting it diagonally. Just put the last bit of glue and I seal it. Okay, so this is it. Our bouquet is coming nicely, as you can see. All our rose petals are there, but we haven't spreaded it yet. As you can see, it's still like this, but it's still looking a little bit plain. So we just now want to beautify it. So what I've done, I've bought these mats. These ones I bought them on Temu, and they were a set of 6. And they were less than £4 from second. Yes. So now I just bought this for decoration, for decorating anything that needs a little bit of gold. So now I've just unraveled one of the mats, as you can see, that I've been using. So I end up having these like strings of gold. So I'll just cut a fair amount that I can see. Okay, if I wrap around my bouquet, I'm going to have enough. Make sure you have enough before you cut, because you don't want again an instance that you have like half done, then you have to join in between because you're trying to do your work as neat as you can. So then you just find a spot as well that you can start. Sometimes it's good to start just under a leaf. That's where I decided to put mine, and I just held it in place after putting a hot glue gun, a hot glue. I held it in place so it could dry properly. And then the first one you'd like to do. Sorry, this just came off, unfortunately. Let's try that again. Right, I put my hot glue and I hold it down for it to seal. And the first one, it just needs to go right round in a circle. Then from where you started, put some more glue and stick it down again. Here you're guaranteed that you have a very strong starting point. Then again you start wrapping it into a diagonal sequence. So you can see I'm just wrapping it diagonally, and as I go I do 3 wraps. I come, I put a little dot of hot glue gun on there, and I put my gold strip over just to make sure it stays in place. By doing that, this will making sure it stays in place and it won't go up and down, and at the same time make sure you pull really tight so that it doesn't wedge up and down. I do 3 wraps again. I come and I put a knot. Just try to put your knots in the same place because you're just trying to maintain neat work here. This glue is just colorless, so it won't show, but you don't want to put bigger dots that will bulge out and show much and ruin your work. So you just keep rotating, and when you're doing this, make sure your hands are clean, because this you're just grabbing this part with your hands, and if you've got makeup or dirty hands, by the time you finish you find out that all has stained your ribbon. So I keep going. I like these placements because once I unravel them, they're giving me a lot of gold strips that I'm not even going to finish. For all the bouquets, I've only used 1 mat, so if you want to divide the cost, you can see that I haven't wasted. Actually, I've saved. So when you get to the end here, that's when now you just wrap in a circular form, close to the other. Close to the other. See now how it looks at the end there. Then put your glue again at the end where you need to stop. Then just press it there for longer. Right. When it is dried up, just take your scissors and just snip it. Make sure it's tight. Then at the end, you just cut the remainder of this. If you want to leave it, some people want to leave them like the ones that have made them. You can see the end, how the ends are. Just want them to be like that. On all of them, just wanted them to leave them like that. So it's up to you what you're making. So after this has been done, now this is what we have. See how beautiful it is. Now the last part of it now, because we want to make it a little fuller. This is now, remember we've just used 6 of these, and we've just used 6 of these eucalyptus strips from 1 stem, and these 8 rose petals, 5 round and 3 in the middle. Then because these ones, they're very soft. Sorry, I think this one just came, it was just hanging loosely. So we're just trying now to make it fuller. This is now when we start spreading our bouquet out. spread our roses out a little bit, and to make sure our petals in there, they're facing upwards to give us that look. Make sure they are not too close to each other and they are nicely spread, showing all the flowers that you have included in the making of your bouquet. See how this has come out. You have made your bridal bouquet, and this is it. This is all you need to do. So this is costed you less, and you can do it in the comfort of your home yourself, DIY project, and you can save money. But if you feel like it's too much for you to do, that's why I'm here. Just DM me, then I can make you one of your choice. So this is our finished product, like our bridal bouquets, all of them. This is what we have. Right. So in my next video, I'll be showing you how I have made, with the remaining ones, how I've made these little flowers for the bridegrooms to go on the jackets. They've got a clip and pin here, and they've got the same flower and the rose and the same ribbon and gold string, and just to pin on the jacket like so to match the bride's bouquets. So as well, they're going to be 8 of these to make a uniform part. So this is it. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Stay blessed.